Morning San Antonio starts right now.
The United States setting a new record for COVID vaccinations with more than 4.6 million doses in a single day. This as states get ready for a shortage of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. We're going to explain.
For hours, firefighters battled the flames that started inside a home on the city's east side. Just ahead on GMSA, the details and the damage.
60 degrees out there. I actually had to grab a light fleece this morning, getting off to a cooler start. But how will our Sunday forecast look like? Sarah Spivey will let us know in just a bit.
Good morning. It is 6 o'clock this Sunday, and it's funny, just before that, it's always a little deceiving because the temperature on the bottom right of the screen says 60, but Sarah Spivey was telling me.
I literally went 55 to max.
Oh, wow.
Then you said
it's 60 degrees.
55.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah, and it's cool outside right now. I mean, I needed the sweater this morning, and I'm sure everybody at home will too if you have an early start to your Sunday morning. However, we are quickly going to warm up here. It's 41 up at Bernie Stage Airfield, 41 in Kerrville, 41 in Comfort, 46 in Tarpley, and 49 in New Braunfels. So temperatures are even falling into the 40s in many places, and it is nice and dry outside. Dew points are in the 30s. That dry air is actually going to allow us to warm up quite a bit. And so here's a look at today's forecast. Even though we're starting off in the 50s, we'll be awfully close to 90 degrees in the afternoon. The good news is we'll have low humidity though during the day. So even though we're going to get warm in the afternoon, at least we won't have to deal with very high humidity. It's going to be a pretty nice day to round out the weekend, but humidity will be on the rise overnight, and that'll trigger a few changes in our forecast in the week ahead. We'll talk rain chances too coming up soon. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, a fire filling up a home on the city's east side. Firefighters calling out to the 2800 block of Lake Arbor, that's south of Rigsby Avenue near Loop 410. It all started around 2 this morning.
Alicia Beretta is live from that neighborhood showing us the damage. Good morning, Alicia.
Good morning. Well, a lot of damages. Crews just cleared out probably about 30 minutes ago. They were finally able to fully put out those flames, but that home declared a total loss. And this was called in around 2 a.m. this morning. The fire was already so intense by the time firefighters made it out here, with flames shooting through the roof of the home and quickly spreading throughout the home. Fire crews surrounded the home to try to contain the flames, but at one point, some of those flames did extend to the right side, catching a neighbor's home on fire as well. The roof of the primary home where that fire started eventually did collapse. Here at the scene, firefighters said they were trying to locate the homeowners. They don't have any reason to believe that they were home or that anyone in that matter was home inside during the time of that fire. So again, the scene has been cleared out, but there is a lot of damage to clear out. Reporting live from the city's far east side, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alicia. Now to the latest. Dozens of people evacuated after an estimated 100-acre wildfire in Bastrop County yesterday. Information is still limited, but this is what we know so far. The fire was prevalent along Castle Way. According to the last update on Twitter from Texas A&M Forest Service, power has been restored to the area. Evacuation has been lifted, but they are still monitoring the flames. Now, this video tweeted out yesterday by Texas A&M Forest Service and credited to Starflight and Bastrop County Emergency Service District Number 2.
The city and schools election is coming up on May 1st in San Antonio. The mayor's race, all 10 city council seats, a proposition aimed at repealing the police department's collective bargaining rights, and a proposed change to the city charter will all be on the ballot. Early voting starts on Monday, April 19th and ends on Tuesday, April 27th. Or you can vote on Election Day, May 1st. Bexar County voters who want to vote by mail, they must submit an application to the Bexar County Elections Department. The applications must be received no later than 11 days before Election Day, which is 5 p.m. on April 20th. Right now, on our website, we have a list of all the acceptable photo IDs and what you need to bring to the polling place. Just visit KSAT.com and all that information will be on the homepage.
Now to the latest on COVID. Vaccination efforts continuing at full speed throughout the weekend as states brace for a major drop in supplies of that one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
It couldn't come at a worse time as cases are rising across the country. ABC's Christine Sloan explains.
More progress in the effort to get Americans vaccinated. The White House saying more than 4.6 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine were given Saturday, breaking the record set last weekend by 500,000. But case numbers are also on the rise in the U.S. On Friday, the U.S. reported 82,000 COVID cases, the highest single-day case count in almost 2 months. And the third straight day, they topped 75,000 nationwide. The country bracing for a significant drop in vaccine doses. Johnson & Johnson's supply expected to fall 85% this week.
The last thing we wanted to hear about was we're getting less vaccines.
In Michigan, which has been inundated by the UK variant, officials partnering with colleges to vaccinate students before they head home. The governor also calling for a 2-week hiatus on high school and youth sports.
We need everyone to step up and to take personal responsibility here.
While in Europe, regulators are now looking into a possible connection between the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and a small number of blood clots, something some American health experts want examined.
We'll see whether or not that's a problem, but the important thing is to look.
But there's good news. Arkansas reporting no new COVID deaths Saturday for the second straight day, and Los Angeles County reporting the lowest positivity rate since the start of the pandemic. Christine Sloan, ABC News, New York.
In your morning headlines, Representative Dan Crenshaw says he will be, quote, off the grid following emergency eye surgery. The Texas Republican recovering after having his retina reattached at a Houston medical center. He says this will render him effectively blind for at least a few weeks. In 2012, Crenshaw lost his right eye after he was hit by an IED blast in Afghanistan during his third deployment. Crenshaw remains optimistic about the situation. In a quote, he said, "I have gotten through worse before, and I will get through this."
A volcano in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has erupted for a third time just in the past 2 days. The volcano forced about 16,000 people to evacuate their homes and seek shelter. The plume of volcanic ash has reached 15 kilometers up into the atmosphere. The eruption, which happened on Friday, it's the first large one since 1979. Luckily, there have been no reports of anyone being killed or injured.
Funeral arrangements now officially set for the late Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. Now, Buckingham Palace revealing his funeral service will be held next Saturday. A royal spokesperson said Prince Harry will attend his grandfather's funeral, but his wife, Meghan Markle, will not because of a physician's order. Well, Meghan is expecting the couple's second child. Prince Harry will travel back to the UK for the first time in over a year and for the first time after the couple's interview with Oprah. Time now, just about 6:08, 59 degrees out.
Well, do you remember these old school iconic phone booths? Some are making a comeback in a unique way. We'll explain later in the show.
And there is a new cookbook to help stimulate the nerve that triggers sensations for people who lost their sense of taste and smell because of COVID. Next on GMSA, more details in the cookbook and where you can find it.
All right, 55 degrees out there. This morning, we're getting a chilly start on our Sunday morning. Sarah Spivey will have our full Sunday forecast when we come back. In your morning consumer news, Facebook is hoping to reduce confusion on its platform.
So Facebook will now label posts from specific pages on people's news feeds. Posts from satire pages, fan pages, and public official pages will be labeled as such to show people where the content is exactly coming from. Facebook says it is now just testing the phase.
This isn't the first time Facebook has tried to give users more context around posts they read. Last year, it started labeling content from state-controlled media outlets.
And next up, 2 chefs hoping their new cookbook will help those who have lost their taste and smell because of COVID. The book is called Taste and Flavor.
The cooks say they engineered the recipes to help those with a missing or distorted sense of smell. With their recipes, they aim to stimulate a nerve which triggers sensations when eating. Some of those foods include mint, wasabi, and cinnamon.
Interesting. So in the recipes, they avoid foods like garlic, onions, and even chocolate because to those missing a normal sense of smell, those foods can actually taste awful. Oh, did not know that. You can get a free digital copy from Life Kitchen.
And there's a shortage on one of America's favorite condiments, ketchup. Restaurants have relied heavily on takeout orders to survive during COVID-19. That caused a need for more ketchup packets.
So once those started running low, some eateries began pouring out bulk ketchup into individual cups. The Wall Street Journal reports that low inventory of ketchup is hitting chains like Texas Roadhouse and Long John Silver's.
But don't panic. Reports say Heinz, I love ketchup, is working to increase its supplies in order to produce 12 billion packets a year.
My favorite little ketchup packets are the ones that you get from Chick-fil-A because you can squeeze the ketchup and you can dip in.
Oh, see, I like the Whataburger. I collect the Whataburger.
Oh, those
ketchup.
are great too. Oh, the spicy ketchup.
The tubs. You got to get like several tubs. A lot of dipping.
All right, so it says 59 on the screen, but what is it actually?
55 degrees.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's a little bit behind down there at the bottom of the screen. But don't worry, I've got a whole 3 minutes to talk about the temperatures out there. Right now outside, we are looking at clear skies. It is not windy. In fact, we're only dealing with a wind from the northwest at about 5 miles per hour. Yesterday morning, if you remember, we started off pretty windy around San Antonio. We were having wind gusts of up to 35 miles per hour, but all is calm right now, 55 degrees, and temperatures will probably even drop a couple more degrees before we see the sunrise here shortly after 7 o'clock this morning. Meanwhile, up in the hill country, look how chilly it is. 41 in Kerrville, 40 in Comfort, 46 in Bandera. It's 49 at Rio Medina, even 49 in Bexar County out toward JBSA Randolph, and 49 in New Braunfels. 48 degrees in Pleasanton, 59 in Del Rio, a little bit of the warm spot in Del Rio and in Cotulla this morning, and 55 in Rock Springs. So a chilly start to the day. You'll want to grab that jacket if you're heading out, but dry air today is actually going to allow us to warm up quite a bit. In fact, dew points are in the 30s, and we're going to have dry air for most of the day today. And the way I like to think about it is the reason why dry air warms up really quickly is because there's not as much water in the air. If you have a pot of water and it's really full, it's going to take a long time to warm it up. But if you have a small pot of water, it takes a lot less time, and that's exactly the case. Will warm up in a lot less time today here in San Antonio. In the afternoon, our dew points will be in the 40s, which is still pretty pleasantly dry. But watch what happens in the overnight hours. We see humidity really pick up in the overnight hours, tapping into that Gulf of Mexico moisture. And so by the start of the day tomorrow, we're actually going to be dealing with patchy fog in places, maybe even some patchy mist as well. But again, today is going to be a nice, pleasant day. It'll be on the warm side, especially in the afternoon, with some increasing cirrus clouds right at around dinner time. And it will be toasty in some spots. 95 in Del Rio, 93 in Carrizo Springs, 94 in Cotulla, and as I mentioned, 90 here in San Antonio. Thank goodness we won't have to deal with the higher humidity. We won't have a heat index value today. And again, just a few wispy cirrus clouds here and there around San Antonio. Most of the rain today is up across parts of the Great Lakes. That's where we've got a very characteristically comma-shaped low-pressure system here. What I want to show you is the energy around this system. The upper level energy, this is rain-making energy, all these purple colors here. But watch what happens in the week ahead. We're going to have tiny little disturbances in the week ahead, just sending us bits of rain-making energy here, bits of rain-making energy there. And so because of that, we have to carry a small chance, about a 20% chance, just about every day for an isolated shower or storm. It's not going to be widespread by any means. This is a look at Friday, and you can see just how wimpy that rain chance actually is around San Antonio. It is a messy weather pattern in the week ahead for rain. Not necessarily what we want to see as far as healthy big downpours, but there is a chance for isolated rain here and there. So again, just to reiterate today, 68 degrees at 10, 79 at noon, 90 degrees for the high temperature, south winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour, and it will be a low humidity day today, but that mugginess returns tomorrow. A cool front arrives on Tuesday. That's going to set our high temperatures back down to near 80 degrees for the remainder of the week. And again, carrying a small chance, 20% for isolated showers every day in the week ahead.
All right, Sarah Spivey, thank you so much. 617, 55 degrees?
55. All right, a neighborhood in Virginia got together to thank an important member of their community. We have the story ahead in our next half hour.
And handling finances can obviously be stressful. A new study shows a majority of Americans actually fear checking their account balances. Next on GMSA, we are going to explain what a lot of people are calling ATM anxiety. Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. A lot of people don't know how much money they have, and they actually fear checking their balances.
It's something experts are now calling ATM anxiety. Erica Hernandez explains.
Do you know how much money you have in your account? Well, if you don't keep track, a new study by one poll says you may not be alone. Roughly half of Americans aren't sure how much money they have and are afraid to find out. The study shows 55% of people admit fears keeps them from checking their accounts regularly. Also, the average person checks their account only 4 times a week, and most Americans often feel anxious about it. To add to the stress, the pandemic has made everything worse. Here are some simple things you can do to improve your financial situation. First, negotiate bills and fees if you are hit with an overdraft fee. Experts say banks and retailers would rather give you money back than lose you as a customer. They also say companies understand the stress of finances and are willing to work with you. And get this, the study found 66% of people agree that if it were possible, they would use cash for the rest of their lives and never bother with a financial institution again. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Time now is 6:22, 58 degrees out.
Well, those old classic red phone booths, they're coming back, and they're not to make calls. We have the story next.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. They might not be used for calls anymore, but remember those iconic British red phone booths? They're still popular, and no, not because people are just taking pictures of them.
Well, check out this repurposed one in London. Visitors can grab a tiramisu on one side and espresso on the other.
Oh,
there
fancy.
might be more innovative red phone booths in the future.
All right, actually, fun fact, we have one here that we use.
We have 2.
Whoa, top one's on the top floor. That's above my pay grade. Some of them have already been converted into mobile phone charging stations, mini smartphone repair shops, and get this, even an online bakery. I'm in. I love it.
I want to just go and get a bagel.
Well, you got to figure they're probably everywhere over there. So
Well,
why not utilize them in a proper manner?
I don't know if they're everywhere. They're still. Like, you know how we got rid of
Our phone booths? Yeah, but those are so much cooler.
way cooler. Of course, it's way cooler.
Time now, it's 6:26, 57 degrees out.
And there is always a reason to celebrate. Today is just better than most. It's National Pet Day. We'll explain in the next half hour.
Are you going to celebrate?
Of course.
Of course. And COVID is far from over. People need to remember that because we are seeing a nationwide spike in a specific age group. We're going to have the details after the break. Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday, 6:30 this morning, April 11th. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Yesterday, gorgeous outside.
It was so pretty. I went on a bike ride on the Salado Creek Trail, but on the east side of town, like right across from the AT&T Center. You feel like you're transported there because they have all of these different types of vegetation and trees, and it was beautiful. It was nice and cool, Sarah Spivey.
Yeah, it's cool. Even right now, too, temperatures have really fallen in the overnight hours. We were able to get down to the 40s in some spots. Look at the hill country. It's 41 in Kerrville, 40 in Comfort, 43 at Bernie Stage. Here in San Antonio, it's 55 degrees right now, 48 in Pleasanton. Cool this morning, but we are going to be seeing a pretty quick warm up. In fact, in today's weather headlines, again, you'll need that jacket this morning, but this afternoon it'll be warm. In fact, we'll be close to 90 degrees. Thank goodness the humidity will be low. But then next week and the week ahead, we do have spotty rain chances. So we've got a lot to talk about in the forecast. I'll walk you through things coming up in just a few minutes. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. On the city's far east side this morning, a home destroyed after flames quickly took over, even threatening a neighboring property.
Firefighters were called to the 2800 block of Lake Arbor. That's south of Rigsby Avenue near Loop 410 around 2 o'clock this morning.
Alicia Barrett joining us live from the scene with more on the damage. Alicia, do we know if anyone was home at the time?
Hey, good morning. Well, although there is a vehicle here on the driveway, we know that no one was at home during the time of the fire. And here at the scene, actually, firefighters were trying to make contact with the homeowners. At this hour, it's still unclear if they were able to let them know exactly what happened. But this is the scene that they're going to come home to, a home almost unrecognizable. We know that when firefighters arrived to the scene around 2 this morning, the flames were already shooting through the roof of the home. Fire crews surrounded the home to try to contain the flames, but at one point some of those flames did extend and actually affected the neighbor's home. It caught fire, but everything is okay. No injuries to report. But as for this home, the main home where that fire started, we know that fire, of course, extended well throughout the home. The roof eventually collapsed, and it has been declared a total loss. No injuries to report, but we know that arson will be making a trip out here later on this morning to begin their part of the investigation, go through all the rubble, and try to determine a cause. Reporting live, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alicia. This morning, an Eastside community of churchgoers still in disbelief after a historic church went up in flames and then collapsed. The Huntley Park Baptist Church on East Houston Street, now just a pile of rubble. San Antonio fire officials tell us the flames could have been seen shooting through the roof. It took them hours to completely extinguish the flames. Members who knew the church and knew the pastor say they are heartbroken, but they are encouraging the congregation to stay faithful.
This is part of life, and sometimes that's what we have to do in order to endure, is to start over again, rebuild.
I truly believe a setback is set up for a comeback in Christ.
Right now, the cause of the flames still unknown. The church says as they work to rebuild, they will still hold their sermons via Zoom. Now to the latest on COVID. As we see more and more Americans get the vaccine, the United States reported at least 75,000 new COVID daily cases 4 separate times this week.
This comes as the nation is facing another potential surge, partly fueled by virus variants like the B117. CNN's John Lawrence reports.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says COVID-19 related deaths in the U.S. are dropping, but confirmed cases and hospitalizations are on the rise. That includes people in the 18 to 25 age group.
We are seeing these increases in younger adults, most of whom have not yet been vaccinated.
Before the end of the month, all 50 states are expected to make COVID-19 shots available to everyone at least 16 years old.
I'm hopeful that we can avert, not see this fourth surge, but we will see hotspots as we're seeing throughout the nation.
Pfizer is asking the Food and Drug Administration to expand the use of its vaccine for children between 12 to 15 years old.
They've shown that in these 4,000 or so individuals, 12 to 15, that the vaccine is safe. There were no adverse safety signals, and they were really effective. Actually, they are shown to be 100% effective thus far in the trial.
If the FDA approves the emergency use authorization, it would be the only one authorized for children that young.
First of all, we need them to get the benefit of the vaccine, but also it will help us to reach herd immunity a lot faster if we don't just have to rely on adults all to be vaccinated.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Well, a new COVID-19 model from the University of Washington Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation predicts more than 618,000 deaths in the U.S. by August 1st. But that number falls to just 604,000 if at least 95% of the population wears facial coverings.
And the CDC says nearly 1/3 of Texans have received at least one dose of the vaccine. This means more than 8.8 million have been given at least one vaccination. The CDC says, get this, more than 5.2 million Texans have been fully vaccinated. State health officials reporting 2,600 new COVID cases in the Lone Star State. 76 more people have died from the virus. Good news, though, Johns Hopkins University data showing the rolling average per day during the last 2 weeks down by 12%.
The Texas Department of Motor Vehicles is reminding Texans that they have until Wednesday to ensure that their vehicles are registered. They say the temporary waiver granting the suspension of on-time registration renewal ends on April 14th, which means you must renew your vehicle's registration on or before that day. After that, law enforcement will start issuing citations for those without a current registration sticker or receipt. You can do your registration online, by mail, or in person. We have all this information right now on KSAT.com.
Well, every Sunday we have our Leading SA segment where we speak to leaders of our community. And this morning on GMSA at 8 a.m., very excited to speak with the San Antonio Business Journal's 40 Under 40 Man of the Year, Akeem Brown. Akeem is involved in a lot of aspects of the city, specifically development of the east side of San Antonio, the VIA board, and numerous public education roles, including creating the Essence Prep Public School, a charter public school that aims to be open in 2022. So if you have any questions you would like to ask Akeem Brown, you can submit them right now. Just head to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com. Time now is just about 6:37, 57 degrees out.
Still ahead on GMSA, a search for sea glass along the East Boston shore didn't turn out the way one woman imagined. We have that story just ahead.
And everyone's very excited. It's National Pet Day, but it's also Margarita Palooza. It is back, so grab a $2 margarita today, and we're going to tell you about Taco Cabana's 9 new flavors.
9? Whoa.
No. Was that for National Pet Day?
Yes, it is National Pet Day. We're going to be talking about that also later in the show or later in the morning. 55 degrees out there still. We're getting a cool start. Sarah Spivey will have our Sunday and week-long forecast when we come back. It's a happy day because we want to pay attention to our best friends. It's National Pet Day.
It is your favorite day of the year.
It really is.
All right, some people have dogs, cats, others prefer feathered friends. Some people have fish, even snakes. Do you have any snakes, spiders?
No,
Any pet spiders?
No pet spiders.
All right, well, whatever companion brings you joy, take some time today to make sure you are providing the best environment.
So throw away toys that have become unsafe, verify vaccinations are up to date, and check tags or other forms of ID in case your pet gets lost. And of course, don't forget to give them plenty of treats, snuggles, and love.
All right, and of course, we want to see your pets, so make sure to send in your pet pics right now. We're going to show some of our favorites during GMSA at 8 a.m., and you can submit them to KSAT Connect.
And you can also celebrate with your pet with a margarita today. Ooh. Of course, don't let your pet drink.
Yeah, don't let there are pet margaritas, though.
Oh, I mean, there's all kinds of fun pet-safe beverages.
So Margarita Palooza is back at Taco Cabana, and the chain is introducing 9 new flavors and, of course, the 3 classics.
Okay, the chain says all the margaritas are $2 all day, every day.
Oh, my
Dang. Goodness. Some of the 9 flavors include pineapple, jalapeno.
No, I think it's pineapple jalapeno.
Oh, it's pineapple jalapeno.
Oh.
Not just jalapeno by itself.
No.
Intense dragon fruit, pickle, pistachio, and orange cream.
I'm intrigued with the pistachio.
No.
What is that? Yeah, what does it taste like, though? Anyway, and of course, we have the 3 classics. That's lime, strawberry, and mango. You can purchase all these classic flavors by the gallon to go. $34.99. We have a full list of all the flavors right now on KSAT.com.
Let's go.
Sarah Spivey.
Do you guys want to split a gallon of a margarita?
You know, I'm going to pass this one.
That might be a headache. A gallon?
No, thank you.
The pickle one sounds good.
Why not? Why not? No, pretty good.
Yeah.
Like a Piccadilly? Definitely delicious. All right, so I want to share this beautiful picture because last night the weather was gorgeous. As the sun was setting and temperatures were falling with the low humidity, it was just absolutely beautiful. This picture is the Guadalupe River out near Bernie, and so thank you so much for sending it in. You know, earlier we were talking about KSAT Connect in your pet pictures. The best way to do that, on our weather app, there's a pins section at the bottom. You can drop any pictures of the weather, of your pets, whatever you want to share on air, and we just may be able to show those on air. Again, you can also go to ksat.com/pins if you really want to share a picture of your pets. 42 degrees in Kerrville this morning, so definitely chilly up in the hill country. 49 in New Braunfels, 41 in Fredericksburg. It's 53 in Uvalde, 48 in Pleasanton, 49 in Kennedy, and 48 in Gonzales. Temperatures are actually 10 to 15 degrees cooler this morning than they were to start the day yesterday. yesterday. So a nice change of pace this morning. You'll need the light coat or the light jacket, but very quickly temperatures are going to rise. Look how warm it's going to be. Even by 2, 85 degrees. By 5, 90. We're going to have mostly sunny skies all day, maybe just a few wispy cirrus clouds out there. Sun will set at 7:58, and we'll have south winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Not only is it going to be warm here in San Antonio, but it's going to be warm across the entire KSAT 12 viewing area. 95 in Del Rio for the high, 93 in Carrizo Springs, 94 in Cotulla, and 91 in Uvalde. But here's the good news. Even though it's going to be warm, the humidity is going to be low. Right now, dew points are in the 30s, which is a very low humidity. We'll see them rise slightly during the day, but even in the afternoon, our dew points will still be in the 40s, which is pretty pleasant. We're not going to be talking about a heat index value. However, by the overnight hours, we are going to be seeing humidity become very noticeable, muggy in the overnight hours, and in fact, with that high pressure system off to our east, bringing in Gulf of Mexico moisture, by tomorrow morning, we'll be waking up with cloudy skies, 65 degrees. Even some areas of mist and fog are possible tomorrow morning. So keep that in mind. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be muggy and warmer. And then in the afternoon tomorrow, we will see some sun with a high temperature near 88. That 88 is going to feel warmer than today's 90 because of the humidity tomorrow. Now notice that up to our north there is going to be a wishy-washy cold front. I say wishy-washy cold front because it's going to linger back and forth just to the north of San Antonio over the next couple of days. That's going to bring us a small chance for rain tomorrow night and Tuesday. Only a 20% chance for isolated showers and a few storms. And again, that's going to be the case for the entire week next week. So even though we have the chance for rain next week, it's only going to be isolated at best, but it is going to happen every day. There is going to be a small chance for rain every day, especially by Saturday here in San Antonio. We need better rain chances than that, but that's just the hand we've been dealt this week. Now, one good thing is with that front arriving on Tuesday, our temperatures are going to go from the warm near 90 degree range to the cooler near 80 degree range in the week ahead as well. So just to summarize everything for you, it's going to be a pretty messy week when it comes to rain chances, one that you're going to want to check in every single day with us to get a better understanding of where is the best chance for rain each day, and again, a small chance for rain each day right now as it stands in the forecast.
We need the rain.
We do. We're really behind in the rainfall department, and of course, we've got those hot summery months ahead.
Absolutely. It's funny because the day before we get 20% chance of rain, 5 days in a row, you get a car wash.
Of course.
6:47, 57 degrees out.
Well, a woman rescued from sinking mud, and neighbors celebrate their beloved trash collector. These stories next on today's Take a Look at This.
Taking a look out the roadways, 35 and 410. There you go, 37 in Salado Creek. Not too bad out there. It's still early on a Sunday morning. If you are out and about, please drive safe, be smart.
All right, let's take a look at those Lotto numbers. Pick 3, 2, 1, 9, Fireball 9, Daily 4, 0, 6, 7, 5, Fireball 0.
Cash 5, 8, 17, 19, 24, 30. Lotto Texas 10, 21, 25, 34, 36, 43. Powerball 14, 16, 23, 50, 53. Powerball 3, Power Play 3. Good luck. We'll be right back. Good morning, welcome back, and go Spurs go. The last time we saw the Silver and Black was Friday, taking on the Denver Nuggets. A close game with 2 last-second shots that just would not fall. They would lose 121 to 119, but they are back, and hopefully they're back with a big W. The Spurs taking on the upstate neighbors, the Mavericks, tonight, 7 o'clock, American Airlines Center. We're going to bring you all the highlights tonight on Instant Replay. But until then, we have a lot of golf to watch. The third round of the Masters saw a rain delay of 1 hour and 15 minutes. And now a new leader, shot of the day. Par 3, 6-hole, Corey Connors' ball is right on line and in for a hole-in-one, the 6th ever golfer to ace the hole. He went 4 under yesterday, sits 6 under. Overall, moving up 7 spots. Justin Thomas moving the wrong way. Par 5, 13th. His approach shot misses the green, ends up in the stream. The ball slowly floating away, much like his chances before settling in the bottom of the riverbed. He would triple bogey, dropped 7 spots, tied for 13th at 1 under par. Second round leader, Justin Rose, he had an up and down day. Sinks this birdie on 12, reclaimed the lead at 8 under par, but he would shoot an even par 72 to remain 7 under, heading to the final round later this morning. Hideki Matsuyama, par 3, 12th hole, sticks a great tee shot, made a birdie to tie Rose for the lead, shot a fantastic 7 under 65, take the lead of the clubhouse, 11 under par. So let's take a look. There we go. He has a 4-shot lead on 4 guys heading into today, the final round. Here we go. The new guy, Big Will, shining in his first Masters. Justin Rose also in the mix. Corey Connors in 6th. Jordan Spieth, Mr. Texas, 7th at 5 under. Lefty sits at even par. And Abraham is 3 over.
And searching for sea glass wasn't an ordinary walk on the beach for this woman. Also, a community shows up to thank their beloved trash man. CNN's Steve Naines has these stories in today's Take a Look at This.
A search for sea glass along the East Boston shore didn't turn out the way Camille Coelho imagined. Stepping on what she thought was gravel turned out to be some fast-sinking mud, trapping her up to her waist.
The neighbors called and saw me out there and said, do you want me to call the fire department? I said, oh God, no, it's too embarrassing.
The neighbors called anyway. Firefighters were able to free her and her dog Lucy after 20 minutes using wooden boards and a ladder. And finally, a neighborhood in Glen Ellen, Virginia got together to thank an important member of their community, Daryl, their trash man.
Thank you. I love the people. I love giving out toys to the kids. I love giving out dog biscuits.
Families lined the street with signs and gifts to celebrate McNeil.
They think about me more than a trash man. They think my man's a good person, a good-hearted person. And that's good to see a community thinks about people like this.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Steve Nanis.
And time now, 6:54, 57 degrees out.
We'll be right back.
Early this morning, firefighters worked to contain the flames that started inside a home on the city's far east side, but things were so intense that the flames caught fire right next door. Firefighters were called to the 2800 block of Lake Arbor, that's south of Rigsby Avenue near Loop 410, around 2 this morning. The fire was already so intense by the time firefighters made it out here, with flames shooting through the roof of the home and quickly spreading throughout. Fire crews surrounded the home to try to contain the flames, but at one point, some of the flames did extend, catching a neighbor's home on fire as well. The first home has been declared a total loss, but the good news is that firefighters say they don't have any reason to believe anyone was inside at the time of the fire, and no injuries were reported. From the city's far east side, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Good morning. Coming up on GMA, COVID cases are rising across the country. Hospitals pushed to the capacity in Michigan, all while states all over America grapple with the decreased supply of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Plus, 2 police officers in Virginia caught on camera drawing their guns and pepper spraying a black Army lieutenant, the growing outrage and the new lawsuit. And finally, the housing market is soaring during the pandemic. What buyers and sellers need to know. It's all coming up on GMA. We'll see you soon.
It is a little cool out there, a little chilly, in fact, across parts of the hill country. Temperatures drop down into the 30s in comfort, but for most of us, we're in the 50s or in the upper 40s. 56 at the airport, 49 at JBSA Randolph, 45 in Bulverde, 49 in Hondo, and 45 in Tarpley. So today, we are going to be able to see low humidity, which means we'll warm up very quickly, 90 for the high. So we go from the 50s to near 90 this afternoon. At least that humidity will be low. South winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. But humidity does return tomorrow. We'll wake up with cloud cover, even some areas of patchy fog and mist in the morning tomorrow before another front arrives on Tuesday. And we will carry a small chance isolated for a shower or a storm all week long. That's the best we can do as far as rain chances go. Temperatures will be a little cooler in the week ahead with high temperatures closer to 80 degrees. Ooh. Hey, we've got a pretty big show coming up at 8, right?
That's right. Well, first and foremost, happy National Pet Day.
Happy National Pet Day.
There you go. So send in your pet pictures. And how do you do that?
KSAT.com/pins, or on the weather app, you can select the pins section.
There you go. And also coming up at 8 o'clock, we have our leading essay segment, Akeem Brown, the 40 under 40 Man of the Year. We're going to talk to him. So we'll see you back here, 8 o'clock.
See you at 8.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Right now on GMSA at 8 a.m., a motorcyclist in serious condition after being hit by a sports car on the city's north side. We have the latest information from police.
Plus, meeting the San Antonio Business Journal's 40 Under 40 Man of the Year. Just ahead in our leading essay segment, we're talking to Akeem Brown about what led him to this title.
And taking a live look out at the Alamo City, it is picture perfect out there. A crisp 57 degrees out there now, but it is going to get hotter and hotter throughout the day. We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey in just a few moments. Until then, good morning, and thank you so much for starting your day with us. It is 8 o'clock this Sunday, April 11th. How was your day yesterday? Did you make it outside?
I did. I went on a long 10-mile bike ride.
Okay, now you're just showing off.
Okay, mister, I work out at 1 a.m.
Yeah, but 10 miles is excessive. Sarah Spivey, is today a good day for a bike ride?
Yeah, a great day for a run, a great day to work out at 1 a.m. even if you're not doing that.
It's always a great day.
But it's actually cool out there right now, but we are going to warm up pretty significantly today into the afternoon. In fact, chilly in some places. It's 40 degrees in Comfort this morning in the Hill Country, 42 in Kerrville, 46 at Bernie Stage Airfield, 53 at the airport, 52 at Port SA. It's also pleasantly dry outside. Dew points are low. Humidity is low. Dew points in the 30s and near 40 degrees. And so with that low humidity, we're actually going to warm up very quickly today. High temperature today going to be close to 90 degrees in the afternoon. Mostly sunny skies throughout most of the day here. South winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. And again, even though it is going to be warm at 90 degrees, the humidity will be low. We won't have to deal with a heat index value today, so that's some good news. Temperatures will cool down to the 60s by midnight. Now, humidity is going to work its way back in overnight, and that's going to shape our weather for the week ahead. So coming up, I'll have a look at rain chances in the week ahead, and we'll talk about another cool front on the way. Sarah and Max.
Thank you, Sarah. And your top stories this morning, a motorcyclist in serious condition after San Antonio police tell us he was hit by a vehicle late last night. Officers say this all happened around 10:15 on Vance Jackson and La Manda. We are told the motorcyclist was heading northbound on Vance Jackson. The driver of a Camaro hit him head on the intersection. The Camaro then hit an SUV as well. The man on the bike taken to the hospital. Serious condition. The other drivers involved not injured. Police say speed was a factor. Right now, charges are still pending.
Well, firefighters worked to contain the flames that started inside an east side home, but a neighbor's home ended up catching fire as well. Firefighters were called to the 2800 block of Lake Arbor, south of Rigsby Avenue near Loop 410 around 2 o'clock this morning. The fire was already so intense by the time firefighters arrived. There was flames shooting through the roof of the home, and it quickly spread throughout the home. Fire crews surrounded the house to try to contain the flames, but at one point, the flames extended to the neighbor's house. The first home has been declared a total loss. Firefighters say no one was inside and no injuries were reported.
Emergency crews in Bastrop County busy late last night and throughout the morning after a wildfire got even more out of control. This area is about an hour and 35 minutes northeast of here. Now, this video on your screen, tweeted by Texas A&M Forest Services, credited to Starflight and Bastrop County Emergency Service District number 2. Now, according to the last update on Twitter, that fire located along Castle Way, estimated at about 100 acres. Bastrop County officials originally told people living in that area to evacuate. That order has since been lifted. People also should know that power in the area in the process of being restored. As an alternative, the county designated Timberline Fellowship Church near Bastrop as a shelter. And we're going to be continuing to follow this story. We're going to bring you the latest updates as we receive them online and on air. But remember, back in 2011, the Bastrop County Complex fire, the most destructive wildfire in Texas history. In that 2011 fire, more than 1,600 residential structures destroyed and caused up to $325 million in damages. More than 32,000 acres burned and 2 people died.
34-year-old Ashley Lujan is behind bars this morning after San Antonio police say she stole mail from at least 90 different addresses. Police say a good number of the mailboxes came from a single apartment complex called Hampton Cove. Lujan, along with an unidentified male suspect, was caught on security camera. In the video, police say you can see Lujan use a crowbar to pry open several boxes, removing mail and stuffing it into her purse and a backpack. She was arrested by DPS. Investigators say they found even more stolen mail on her as well. She's been charged with mail theft.
Now to the latest on the vaccine. If you still need to get your vaccine, listen up, because WellMed is opening up more than 3,000 vaccine appointments for a 2-day distribution next week. They're going to be giving out the 1-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and it is set for tomorrow and Tuesday from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Doris Griffin Senior One-Stop Center. That's just off Loop 410. Anyone 18 and older can sign up. The number on your screen, 833-968-1745, or you can sign up online. We have a link to do so right now. Just head to KSAT.com. Well, every Sunday we have our Leading SA segment. We speak with leaders of our community, and this morning we are joined with the San Antonio Business Journal's 40 Under 40 Man of the Year.
That's right. Akeem Brown holds numerous leadership roles from education to public transportation and joins us this morning in our Leading SA segment. Good morning, Akeem. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us.
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Max. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So right off the bat, we know you are a big advocate of education. So what sparked this passion?
Yeah, great question. What sparked this passion was my own student experience, right? I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I lived in Orangeburg, South Carolina for a short period of time. And then, of course, I moved to San Antonio. But, most of my career, when I say career, education career as a student, was all through public schools, all the way to graduate school, right? And so what sparked my passion for education was really around the disparities that I see in classrooms, right? I moved around and I learned that, not every child was being given that access to quality education. And sometimes that child was myself. I went from being a top tier AAA student, right, on his way to an IB diploma, which is an advanced diploma for high school. But when I moved to South Carolina, I was given an IEP, which is a special education rating, right? So again, what does it look like when we talk about high quality education for young people, and how are we supporting them? So really my passion was sparked through my own student experience.
And Akeem, you just talked about your passion for education. So you've created Essence Preparatory Public School. It's a charter public school that aims to open in 2022 for kindergartners through 8th graders. So what are your goals for this new school, and why the need?
Sarah, San Antonio is one of the fastest growing cities in America. We know that, right? But we are, unfortunately, one of the most economically segregated cities in our community. Across America. And so where we have at least 64% of the population is Latinx and about 6% identify African American, we have learned that overwhelmingly students of color in San Antonio are struggling. Our schools are struggling in our communities. And so our focus at Essence Prep is really to build skill, that academic skill through academic rigor, but to build confidence. So students are raising their hands, they're answering questions, not only because they know, but because they are comfortable with knowing, right? And we know a lot of that comes with the fact that we have to prepare them to face challenges, and challenges not just academically, but socially. And we know for Black and Brown children, a lot of those challenges are racism. So we believe with that knowledge of self, building that confidence and getting young people to believe in their culture, their traditions, and feel safe about their interests and their politics, that very well would lead to success for not only that young man or young woman, not only for that family, for our entire community in San Antonio.
Akeem, you already referenced that San Antonio, one of the fastest growing cities in the country. You were named interim CEO for San Antonio for the growth on the east side. So what are the issues that you see on the east side, and what do you think the future holds?
Yeah. When I held that position, we were doing great work, and they continue to do great work at SAGE. San Antonio for Growth on the East Side focus was really to support small businesses on the east side of San Antonio. So when we talk about economic vibrancy, right, when we talk about making sure that folks are not just stable, but thriving, right, we really have to talk about what that economic vehicle is to make sure that that is occurring. And on the east side of San Antonio, really what's happening is a lack of access and a lack of opportunities, right? And so one, folks say, well, what comes first, the chicken before the egg, right? Is it the opportunity or the access? And I think it has to be all, or it has to be both. For me, it was what I call a three-legged stool, right? You can't sit on a stool without having three legs because it begins to wobble. Education, housing, and economics. Those were the focuses. And that needs to continue to be the focus when we talk about revitalizing the east side of San Antonio.
Well, Akeem, love your energy, love your passion. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And for our viewers, you can watch this full interview later this morning on KSAT.com. Thank you, Akeem.
Thank you guys for having me.
Time now is 8:09, 56 degrees out.
Well, coming up on GMSA, celebrating furry friends on National Pet Day. Details on how you can share your appreciation.
Plus, a new app that uses voice recognition to keep you safe at all times of the day. We're going to tell you why it was created and how exactly it works.
The San Antonio Book Festival may be coming to an end, but that doesn't mean that the fun is slowing down. Just ahead on GMSA, I have the top events for children, teens, and adults.
And as you saw it there with Alicia, it is beautiful. 56 to start your Sunday morning. What does the rest of the day? What does the weekend and work week look like? We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey in just a few moments. Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. It is the last day to enjoy the San Antonio Book Festival. Hundreds have taken advantage of the free virtual festival to hear from and connect with your favorite authors.
Alicia Barrera is live with more on today's schedule as the 2021 celebration comes to an end. Good morning, Alicia.
Good morning. Well, this has been a 3-day festival packed with just so much imagination, fun, and there have been over 100 events, not only for adults, but also for teens and even children. So yes, it is your last day to take advantage, but there's something for everyone. At 10:30 this morning, if your child loves Moana, Wreck-It Ralph, or Frozen, well, you want to sign up for the 10:30 event titled Time to Eat or Wolf Boy Might Appear. It features award-winning art director Andy Harkness in his new book, Wolf Boy, which is about a hungry, drooly, and fussy guy. And if you have any teens in your home, well, on the main stage today, it's happening at noon, something for young adults who love sci-fi. Internationally best-selling author Charlie Jane Andrews will share about her new book titled Victories Greater Than Death. And another big event helping wrap up the festival today, and it's actually one that I'm looking forward to. The highly acclaimed Chilean author Isabel Allende, who's known for novels such as The House of the Spirits and City of Beasts, will take on the main stage at 3:30 p.m. today. The event is in partnership with the Miami Book Fair, and it does require a ticket. So for all of these events and much more, many more that I mentioned, you can head over to KSAT.com. There we have an article with a link because there is still time to register. So for the most part, these events are free, but that last one I mentioned, the 3:30 p.m. with Isabel Allende, that is a ticketed event, so you will expect to pay a few bucks for that. But it's all in support of authors, and it's all for a good cause. Max, Sarah, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Alicia. And today is an extra special day. Not only is it a Sunday, not only do we get to open up with a smile, but if you are a pet owner, it is your day because April 11th is National Pet Day.
It's actually your pet's day. They're the ones benefiting from this. So whether you own a furry dog, cat, fish, or even a scaly snake.
Do you own a furry fish?
No. It's time to pay special attention to your best friend. So we asked for your pictures earlier on GMSA, so just take a look.
Yeah.
This is Izzy.
This is Izzy. Thank you so much for sending your pictures into our KSAT Connect feature. I love this picture. Man, this pet owner has their hands full. This is Fagin, Finn, Wisp, and Sprout. And then, of course, got to throw in a couple kitties in there. This is in Carn City. This is Pepper, and one of her favorite positions to be in, chilling out. She makes us laugh every day. Shout out to Buster on National Pet Day. Buster looks really cute. And then this is Spaz, the Spaz, chilling in his haystack. Finally, I love this picture too. This is really awesome. A nice little husky there in the blue bonnets. We love it. Thank you for sending in your pet pics to our KSAT Connect feature on our weather app.
And this is our producer Gabby's cat, Jack.
Oh my
gosh, he's so handsome.
And Sarah.
Take it away.
I love these doggies.
Oh yeah, this is Scooby and Sister, my adopted doggies. Sister loves Scooby, that's why she's hugging him.
Whoa, Beatrice, our editor, she has a parrot named Lola.
I want to know
really
what Lola can say.
Oh, we should ask Beatrice when we're done here. And then this is little Miss Nora. She's most of my Instagram is made up.
This picture is so professional. She knew. She's just looking into your soul and posing.
Yeah, she's really sweet. But thank you again for everybody sending in your pet pics. Max, we gotta get you
at least a fish.
So here's the thing. No. I want to get a dog eventually.
Right.
The house first, because I don't want to get a dog and live in an apartment. It's just unfair to them.
Well, if you run them and walk them.
You know,
Come on, Max.
Yard, then dog. It's a process. But anyway, today looks like it's going to be a beautiful day to be out in the yard.
It's going to be a great day. Now, we're starting off on the cool side, mostly sunny skies, 53 degrees. Calm wind conditions pretty much around San Antonio, which is an improvement from yesterday. You'll remember how breezy it was to start the day yesterday. Waking up in the 40s, though, up in the hill country, 42 in Kerrville, 41 in Comfort, 44 in Bandera, 46 at Bernie Stage Airfield. Generally around San Antonio, temperatures are in the lower 50s, so you need that sweater if you're heading out very early this morning. But it's going to warm up pretty quickly. Out toward Del Rio at 60 degrees, 64 in Laredo, and 51 in Kennedy. The reason why it's going to warm up really quickly is that dew points are low. Dew points are in the 30s around San Antonio right now, and they'll be in the 40s through most of the day. Afternoon dew point right around 48 here in San Antonio. Drier air heats up more easily, and that's why we'll be able to warm up pretty quickly. But watch what happens in the overnight hours. We're going to see, there we go, whoop, some higher humidity by the morning hours. Dew points will be in the 60s, and we'll notice it. You may even see it in the form of some patchy fog and some patchy mist early tomorrow morning. But today, a few cirrus clouds out there right now and a few cirrus clouds in the afternoon. But it is going to be a warm day, definitely in the afternoon. 90 degrees around San Antonio, but look out toward Del Rio. 95 in Del Rio, 93 for the high in Carrizo Springs, 94 in Cotulla, upper 80s likely for the hill country and the Austin metro area as well. But again, at least we won't have to deal with the high humidity, right? So at 10 we'll be at 68, at noon we'll be at 79, and right around dinner time we'll be at 90. Sun will set around 7:58, and much like yesterday, it's going to be a pretty pleasant evening with low humidity in the evening hours. It's just in the overnight hours that we'll see that humidity really start to increase. South winds today at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Fairly quiet across the state of Texas in the Central Plains, but you go up to the north and to the east, and you can see the comma cloud and comma rain, shape rain around a low pressure system in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That's where most of the energy is. In fact, I'm going to show you a graphic here where you can see the energy around this low pressure system. This is rain-making energy, just one of the ingredients for rainfall. You can see that there's rain-making energy across the panhandle today, but there's no rain going on there. Again, this is just one of the ingredients, and it's going to make for a bit of a messy forecast in the week ahead. Look how we'll see continuously rain-making energy in pockets around San Antonio and around the state of Texas in the week ahead. This is going to lead us to have a 20% chance for an isolated shower or storm just about every day next week. Starting tomorrow night, we'll be seeing a slight chance for rain just about every day. And again, this is a look at Friday. You can see where that rain-making energy was, just a small chance for an isolated shower around San Antonio. I wish I could say we were going to have a shoot 'em down, knock 'em out, big rainfall event, but that's just not going to happen this week. Instead, we're going to be dodging a couple of showers here or there. There will be the haves and the have-nots, with a lot of us being have-nots as far as it goes with rainfall. Good news is, we're going to have a front move through on Tuesday, and that'll keep our temperatures down to near 80 degrees. Max, Sarah, what you smirking about over there?
Sarah went Saturday Night Prize Fighter over here.
Knock 'em out rain.
There you go.
Thank you, Sarah.
Strong right hook. 821, 58 degrees out.
Still ahead on GMSA, a San Antonio man is getting attention online for wearing a shower curtain out in public. Yes, this happened. Details on what users are now asking on the original post.
Plus, California teenager making people feel safer with a new app. We're going to explain what the Keep Me Safe app is and how it works next. Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. Whether you're out walking, jogging, or hiking, day and night, safety is always a concern for everyone.
Absolutely. That's why one junior at Valley Christian High School in San Jose, California, created an app to speed up the reporting of sexual assault. 16-year-old Daya Hituvali developed Keep Me Safe app. It triggers a loud alarm to scare off whoever is bothering them in that moment and sends a user's location details to 911, all through voice recognition. Daya says all you really need to do is say the word help.
It's about power. It's about keeping women from being fully who they are. And that's why what you're doing is very important.
The Keep Me Safe app is available on the Apple App Store for free as a public service. Daya plans to study computer science in college. She is also working on her next app one that will allow diners to determine if a menu item they want to order might have ingredients that could trigger an allergic reaction. So this is an amazing app for so many reasons, and it looks like Daya has a really bright future.
You go, girl.
All right, time now is 8:26, 58 degrees out.
Still ahead in our next half hour, making sure you renew your vehicle registration before it's too late. Details on when the last day to get it done.
Plus, we're hearing the latest on the royal family's plans for the official funeral of Prince Philip. We have the details next. Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. I'm Max Massey.
I'm Sarah Costa. It is Sunday, April 11th, and I'm starting to get the itchiness in the nose and the eyes. And Sarah Spivey, you have some breaking news for us.
Yeah, breaking news in the pollen count today. Today's oak count is the highest it's been in 26 years, since 1995. Let me show you that oak count right now. It is past 40,500 oak pollen grains per cubic meter of air. Can we bring that graphic full, guys? Really want to show that. There we go. You can see just how high that oak count is. It hasn't been that high again since 1995, April of 1995. We've got mold in the mix there, but it's definitely not the quote star of the show just because oak is very high. By the way, if you are a sufferer of the oak allergies, like a lot of us here, we have until about the beginning of May. By the beginning of May, that's when we start to see oak really take a dip. And my theory on why oak is so high is because we had those really crazy winds yesterday, and during the freeze, it probably delayed oak season a little bit, and now all of the oak trees are pollinating. Again, just a theory. I need to talk to an allergist about that, but that would make sense to me. Meanwhile, temperatures are on the cool side, 54 in Helotes, 50 at Bernie Stage Airfield, 41 in Comfort, 45 in Kerrville. So there are a couple of spots that are still in the 40s this morning, but we're quickly going to see temperatures rise. In fact, by the afternoon, we'll be at 90 degrees for the high. South winds at 5 to 15. Even though 90 is warm, the humidity will be low. So that's some good news. But humidity will be higher tomorrow, and that'll adjust our forecast a little bit. So I'll be back with a look ahead at a more muggy forecast with some rain chances in the mix. Sarah?
Thank you, Sarah. In your latest news this morning, a man is dead after he was shot by San Marcos police for allegedly charging at them with a weapon. According to officers, it happened a little after midnight yesterday along I-35. San Marcos police say the man was walking on the highway and crossed into traffic. As police tried to get him into custody to get him off the road, police say the man moved aggressively towards them with a knife. After shooting him, officers say they tried to give him CPR, but no success. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
And churchgoers in an Eastside community still in disbelief after a historic church went up in flames and collapsed this weekend. Yesterday morning, Elisa Barrera showed us on GMSA what was left of the Huntley Park Baptist Church on East Houston Street. San Antonio fire officials say it took them several hours to put the flames out. Those flames could be seen shooting through the roof. Parishioners who know the church and know the pastor say they are heartbroken, but are encouraging the congregation to stay faithful.
This is part of life, and sometimes that's what we have to do in order to endure, is to start over again, rebuild.
I truly believe a setback is set up for a comeback in Christ.
Right now, the cause is still under investigation. The church says as they rebuild, they will be holding their sermons via Zoom.
Let's move to the UK now and the latest on the royal family's plans for the funeral of Prince Philip.
The pandemic lockdown forcing the royals to scale back a little bit. ABC's Maggie Rulli at the Buckingham Palace with more.
Here in London, we're now officially in countrywide mourning for a week. That flag behind me, you see it on top of Buckingham Palace. It will stay at half-mast until the day after Prince Philip's funeral, which the palace has announced will be next Saturday at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. Now, we'll be hearing more details about that ceremony later this week, but we do know that because of current coronavirus restrictions, it's going to be a much smaller, quieter event. A maximum of just 30 people are allowed, so we expect it to be only close family and friends, which we now now know will include Prince Harry. He has confirmed he'll be here in the UK to say a final goodbye to his grandfather. But he won't be here with his wife, Meghan. Right now, she's pregnant with their second child and says she's been advised by doctors not to fly. But guys, whatever the guest list, it is going to be a day for the entire country to mourn and to celebrate Philip's life. The ceremony is going to start with a nationwide long minute of silence at 3 p.m. It's when the prince's coffin will be carried toward the chapel by a modified Land Rover that the prince himself helped to design. Prince Charles will lead the family procession that follows behind him, and he'll be flanked by members of the military there saluting one of their own. The palace also announced that the Queen's decided her family will mourn her beloved husband for a full 2 weeks. And guys, what's been really great to see is that during this time of mourning, we've just been hearing from so many close friends and family of Prince Philip who say, his dedication to service, to family were so admirable. And they also all talk about his wicked sense of humor. So we do hope to hear plenty more of these amazing stories of his extraordinary life over the next week as well. Guys.
Well, also in your morning headlines, rescuers are trying to reach 21 coal miners who were trapped by an underground flood in China's northwest. According to a state news agency, the mine in that region flooded at about 6 p.m. yesterday, but only 8 people were rescued. China's coal mines are among the world's deadliest, regularly suffering explosions and gas leaks despite repeated safety crackdowns.
Fort Worth police investigating a highway shootout between what they are calling rival gang members from Friday night. 2 cars with multiple passengers. They started shooting at each other on Southwest Loop 820. Now, 19-year-old Dominic Pines killed and 6 other people wounded by gunfire, including 2 innocent bystanders. Police in the area say during the shootout, a stray bullet hit a woman in a separate, unrelated vehicle. 1 person now listed in critical condition. 5 others have been treated for non-life-threatening gunshot wounds.
A cluster of severe storms has swept across southern states, leaving at least 2 dead in Louisiana while toppling power lines into Mississippi and leveling buildings in Florida and the Panhandle in Mississippi. A possible tornado ripped down power lines and trees in Rankin County, but no injuries were reported. Officials in Panama City, Florida, said a home and a convenience store were also leveled in a possible tornado.
Well, back here at home, the election for the San Antonio mayor is fast approaching, and we now know what the ballot will look like. Right now on KSAT.com, we have a full list of all the candidates running for mayor. Those include Ron Nirenberg, Greg Brockhouse, and 12 others. There is a full list of all the people running for the city council spots as well. Early voting begins next Monday, April 19th. And remember, Election Day, Saturday, May 1st.
Well, if you're not registered already, you have 3 options for registering to vote. You can fill out a voter registration application online. You can register in person at your county voter registration office, or you can request a postage-paid application from your voter registrar by filling out this form. You won't need your voter registration card when you actually go vote, but you will need a valid form of identification to vote in Texas. You can find all of this information as well as the links to that application right now on KSAT.com.
And speaking of registration, the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles reminding Texans that you have until Wednesday to make sure your vehicle is registered. The temporary waiver granting the suspension of on-time registration renewal ends on April 14th. After that, law enforcement, they're going to start issuing citations for those without a current registration sticker or receipt. You can do your registration online, by mail, or in person. And if you have any questions, we have all the answers. Just head to KSAT.com.
Well, birds up. The Roadrunners are celebrating a big win this weekend. The collegiate cheerleading team won a national title for their skills, proving once again that cheerleading is not just a sport, but a very competitive one.
All right, so Alicia Rivera joins us live. And Alicia, you say, you actually have it written here, that you are someone who has always dreamed of becoming a cheerleader.
Yes, and those dreams never came true, which is why I am a journalist. But the only cheer that I knew growing up and that I'm proud was and I think everybody knows it, because Sarah Acosta, you were singing it earlier, or cheering it earlier, the Burr. It's cold. You can't even hear my stomps here, but.
Yeah,
so these ladies and gentlemen can do much more than I can, because they just won a national title. They are the college champs. Take a look at their routine. This group of athletes dedicated so many hours to training and practicing for this right here leading up to the 2021 National Cheerleading Association College Nationals. The national champs won the title of Small Co-Ed Division 1A. The team was led by head coach Gabe Ortiz and assistants Ashley Johnson, Carla Perez, and Travis Owens. The work was definitely worth it, so we want to say congratulations to the Roadrunners for their win. They've been celebrating since yesterday when they received the news. Of course, this was a virtual event too. It happened remotely. They've been celebrating. You can check out their Twitter. They have those videos on there too. So we want to thank assistant coach Ashley Johnson for sharing this video with us. But another way that the UTSA main campus will be celebrating this win, or really has been since last night, if you're around the main campus, you'll see that they're lighting up the tower with the alternating colors of blue and orange to celebrate this national championship title. So congratulations to the UTSA cheer team. Birds up. Max, Sarah, back to you.
Birds up. Thank you so much, Alicia. 840, 61 degrees out.
Well, just ahead on GMSA, a local man is getting noticed on social media for his creative way of staying safe. What we know about the shower curtain man seen around town.
And a tough loss for the Houston Astros last night. After the break, a look at the highlights plus details on what is next for the Silver and Black. Good morning, welcome back, and go Spurs, go! The Spurs had a tough outing against the Nuggets the last couple nights, but don't worry, we're going to get back on track, taking on the Mavs, just upstate a little bit. Tonight, 7 o'clock, American Airlines Center, there we go. Spurs, Mavericks, what else do you need? Time to talk golf. We got a lot of golf to watch before we can watch basketball. Third round of the Masters saw a rain delay, hour and 15 minutes, and we also saw a new leader. Shot of the day, boom, par 3, 6-hole, Corey Connors, ball right down the middle. That is a hole-in-one, the 6th ever golfer to ace the hole. He went 4 under yesterday, sits 6 under overall, moving up 7 spots. Justin Thomas moving the wrong way. This is a par 5 on 13. His approach shot misses the green, ends up in a stream, and the ball floats away just like his chances before settling at the bottom of the riverbed. Triple bogey. No one wants triple bogey. He dropped 7 spots, tied for 13, so he's still got a pretty good chance. And he is under par after a 3 over 75. Second round leader, though, Justin Rose had an up and down day, sinking that birdie on 12, reclaiming the lead at 8 under par, but he'd shoot an even par 72, remain at 7 under, final in the final round. Hideki Matsuyama, boom, on the par 3, 12th hole, sticks a great tee shot, made a birdie to tie Rose for the lead, shot a phenomenal 7 under 65, take a lead in the clubhouse, 11 under par. Matsuyama, 4-shot lead on 4 guys heading into the final round. Big Will, first-timer, shining in his first Masters. Justin Rose still in the mix. Fell a little bit yesterday. He was leading the first 2 rounds. Corey Connors in 6th. Jordan Spieth, Mr. Texas himself, 7th at 5 under. And lefty sitting at even par. Big man Abraham, he is 3 over. Time to talk baseball. Boom, heading over to Minute Maid Park for a game between the Astros and the A's. Let's just go top of the 5th. Ramon, wait for it, crushing a 2-run shot all the way to the train tracks for A's. His first homer this season, going 415 feet, and that's a lot of feet. Bottom of the 7th, Astros down 6-2, runner on second. Brantley lines one up to the wall. Ooh, Jose Altuve scores. Brantley slide in with a triple, and that's as close as Houston would get it. Sorry, Astros fans. The A's win 7-3, taking 2 out of 3. Houston has now lost 2 straight. There you go. There's sports. We got an interesting story to tell you about. A San Antonio man going viral this week for his fascinating choice of PPP. The video on Reddit shows him wearing a shower curtain. Yes, a shower curtain as a form of public protection.
So, have you seen him? Just take a look. User Michael G4 posted this with a caption that reads, "Anyone else see this guy in SA?" Based on the Reddit thread comments, this isn't the first time the man has been cited in SA with the unique body covering. One user said, "Yeah, he shops at my Target from time to time." Another said he was seen at an HEB about a month ago. What other unique covering creations have you seen around town? Let's not start something. Well, you can submit your answers by clicking on this article on KSAT.com.
All right. You know what? I have not much to add to that. At least he's being safe.
being sick.
Sense of
Kind of,
optimism.
yeah.
Sure. All right, taking a live look out there. 62 degrees, but if you're sneezing and wheezing, pollen's the season? Reason?
Yeah,
I
it's
almost
the
got
reason. Oak is the reason for your
Ooh.
sneezing. And this is pretty big, and we're going to continue to talk about it this morning. But I want to show you the pollen count today. Oak is at 40,500 pollen grains per cubic meter of air. That's the highest oak count since April 2nd, 1995, when we were at 42,000. That is the highest oak count in 26 years, according to our allergist who checks the pollen every day. On top of that, she really brings a good point that we haven't seen much rain this April to help to wash the oak out of the air as well. So that's one of the factors why we might be seeing that very high oak count. Of course, you also have to consider the freeze in February, the deep freeze that may have delayed the oak pollen season just a little bit. And then all of a sudden, as you know, here it is. So the highest oak count in 26 years today. Mold's there. It's low, but oak is the big story. And of course, we give you the pollen count every single day online on KSAT.com, on air during the morning shows, during the evening shows. We show you the pollen count, and we also send it directly to your phone on the KSAT weather app every day. In fact, I just sent a notification about that. So if you want to follow along, oak season usually comes to an end around the beginning of May. Other than that, though, today's going to be a pretty nice day. We're starting off in the upper 40s and 50s. This was our morning low, 53 degrees. We're now starting to see temperatures get up into the 60s locally as the sun has risen. It's still 48, though, in Kerrville. Temperature is about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than how we started off the day yesterday. That low humidity is our friend today, though, although it is going to allow us to warm up really quickly. In fact, by noon, we'll be near 80 degrees, 85 at 2 p.m., 90 for the high temperature. Even though that number 90 there may be a little scary for folks who want to get outside today, the good news is low humidity, so it's going to feel great in the shade if you decide to go out on your Sunday afternoon. South winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour, and we will see humidity work its way back into the forecast late tonight. Meanwhile, out toward Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Carrizo Springs, and Gachula, high temperatures today will be in the mid-90s, upper 80s for the hill country. As I mentioned, the humidity is going to be low this afternoon. We're going to see a steady rise in the humidity today, but it'll still be pretty low in the afternoon, and that's why it'll feel good. However, in the overnight hours, look at that, dew points go up into the 60s. Whenever a dew point gets above 60 degrees, that's when you can notice the mugginess. And tomorrow morning, you may actually be able to see the humidity in the form of some patchy fog, and some low-level clouds are going to be back. In fact, we'll start off Monday at 65 degrees. We'll see a few peaks of sunshine in the afternoon, and because of that, we'll be near 88. But I'll bet you that that 88 tomorrow is going to feel warmer than the 90 today. The reason for that is tomorrow the humidity will be higher. Then a front is going to be kind of wishy-washy and work its way back and forth around the hill country, bringing a small chance for rain tomorrow night. And speaking of small chances for rain, that's going to be with us all week long. Hit or miss, isolated showers, and even a storm is possible. The chance for rain, though, unfortunately, is only 20%. So we're not going to have any big washout rain events to help wash that oak pollen out of the air either over the next several days. We do get that front moving through on Tuesday, though, and that'll allow for our high temperatures to at least be a little cooler. We'll be looking at high temperatures near 80 degrees for most of the week next week. So with that small chance for rain every day, and with the oak being the highest it's ever been in 26 years, you're going to want to keep that KSAT weather app handy.
Absolutely. Sarah Spivey, thank you so much. 8:51, 62 degrees out.
Well, you can ditch the kale and replace it with kelp and seaweed. No, thank you. We'll just ahead the new health trends claiming to keep you healthy and fit. In the news you need to know before you go, a motorcyclist is in serious condition after San Antonio police say he was hit by a car around 10:15 last night on Vance Jackson and La Manda. We are told the motorcyclist was heading northbound on Vance Jackson when the driver of a Camaro crashed into him head-on. That Camaro then hit an SUV. The other drivers involved were not injured. Police say speed was a factor, and right now charges are pending.
And again, the big story this morning is that Oak is the highest it's been in 26 years, past 40,000. Now, in the weather today, we'll be at 90, but it'll be low humidity. And then in the week ahead, we are going to have a small chance for rain just about every day. And temperatures should be near 80 degrees.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Have a good Sunday.